For Wayne to keep quiet, yeah.
Wayne's private collection, yeah, we know.
It's for Wayne's private collection. Can you? Are we all right in the screen?
Yeah.
Mise en scène cinematographer person, yeah.
I thought I was actually where it was, but
That's all right.
I wasn't. Here we go now. Yeah. Too many donuts, my fingers sticky. I mean, it's not right. Yeah, obviously, I'm not going to talk in terms of age, but I think that I'm in a very different stage of my dementia to those that you're used to dealing with. So obviously the real life examples that I can use are hopefully different and certainly not as extreme as what you may come across, but I'm hoping that the scenario, the background, the message is kind of the same, in that what I'm trying to put across is that things may not be as they appear to be. And so I've picked three sort of situations, and what I'm going to do, that I've got by going back through my blog, give you the sort of immediate situation, see what we make of that, and how I was. And then I'll give you the background, the build up to that situation, and see if that changes the perception in any kind of way. So first of all, I call it the bus pass fail. This is the first one, right? It was a Tuesday, and Dave, my friend and watcher, not carer, came with me to the last of my current set of therapy group sessions in Rainham, and I think he quite enjoyed it. It had been a great entertaining session, and we had a splendid afternoon, and then tried to get the bus back home. Bang! The world crashed back in. I should have known things were going too well. The driver refused to allow the use of my bus pass. No particular reason given, just that my bus pass had been hot listed by the council, so I couldn't use it. Not being one for calm reaction and being subject to vascular dementia emotional meltdown, Wayne explodes. A rather loud verbal exchanges and some abuse, only a little, ensues based around, well, it was okay to get me here, so how am I supposed to now get home, and what a-hole has done this to me miles from home? So how does that look? Was I reasonable? Yes.
Yes.
So I'm exploding, I'm being very aggressive and abusive towards the bus driver. The people sitting there on the bus just see this guy get on and start creating and going absolutely ballistic because the driver doesn't want to accept his bus pass. Is that really acceptable?
Well, it isn't acceptable, but I mean, I would do it if I was frustrated with it. Yeah, you actually got there with the bus pass, and there was no difference to what you're trying to get home.
The background to it all, and so that no, I do blow up for the merest possible thing, but the background to it all, so it wasn't the merest possible thing, or at least I hope it will. Luckily and purely by luck, Dave was with me, so we got by. And in my anger, I phoned the Alzheimer's Society to get my caseworker on it. She was away, but the lovely lady there calmed me, kind of, and said that they'd phone the council and deal with it. By the morning, I'd calmed down some. Having discussed it with Dave, we pieced together a possible scenario. Right, my doctor had decided, this wasn't part of the possible scenario, this was actually happened. My doctor had decided that I was in need of a companion bus pass, so did a letter to the council to have my single bus pass upgraded. In their ultimate efficient wisdom, they sent me a duplicate of my existing pass, a single bus pass. So I went to the council hub to get it sorted out, where I was told to ignore this new duplicate and they would get a new one dispatched to me. This took 3 more weeks. So during the following 2 weeks I continue using my existing bus pass, having ignored the duplicate, following the instructions I've been given. So Dave and I managed to reach the conclusion that obviously at some point or other somebody thought, hang on, we've sent out a new one, we've got to cancel that one, don't bother telling anybody, just cancel it. So it was cancelled kind of at some time during the day after I'd used it in the morning to get to where we was going. Then it gets cancelled, the computer says, nah, I tried to get on the bus, boom, not going to have it. Now, to me, that meant somebody somewhere had bungled, to put it mildly. Went back, looks at all the paperwork, nowhere on that paperwork does it say anything about here is a new bus pass, never mind duplicate or anything, here is a new bus pass, cancelled your old one. Doesn't say anything about that. Nothing at all. And I was told to ignore. Now, people could take that in all sorts of ways, but to me, black and white, ignore means ignore. So I just and carried on using the old one. And just to kind of make matters worse, and nothing really to do with the story, when the Alzheimer's Society phoned up the people at the council, somebody told them that I had rang them, told them that my bus pass had been stolen, so they'd cancelled it. Well, I've got Alzheimer's, I might have done. Second, another scenario, Maidstone Hospital Eye Clinic. The blow-up happened when a nurse at Maidstone Hospital Eye Clinic asked me to explain to her what had happened to my eyes and could I tell her the list of medications I'm on. Now, I saw red, and no pun there about seeing red and being at the eye clinic. I swore at her and demanded that she use the effing computer to find out, as it must by now be on there. Why are you asking me this? There's the computer sitting there, I can see it, use it. She explained that she couldn't look it up, so would I tell her? To which I replied, no, I'm going home. And you can call me back when you've worked out how to use the bloody computer. Was my reaction okay? Not really. I mean, you're not on my side right this time. I can feel they're not on my side. I'm going home. Right, now the background to that story. Right, I had an absolutely massive breakdown. I can't remember how long ago it is now, about 8 weeks ago. And I ended up spending 4 days in Medway Hospital, scarily on the surgical assessment unit. And I had lots of scans and specialists, and I lost the sight in one eye. Very little explanation, basically none. Lots and lots of blood tests, and things happening every 4 hours, even in the middle of the night. So I'm being woken up so they can check I'm okay. And they kept asking me each time we went from one department to another, and it was 6 different departments in all. Every time, tell us about your meds. Now, it's a stressful situation. What do you mean about my meds? I don't even remember I'm on meds, never mind what they are. And 6 times in one night, going from different departments, asked the same questions. Can you tell us what happened? And every one of these departments had computers, and every one of these computers was not being used. So I eventually get over it by checking myself out of the hospital. They tried to persuade me to stay in, but I had better things to do for the weekend, knowing that the specialist would be down the golf course, so I'm not staying in the hospital over the weekend. They sorted me out an appointment to go to Maidstone Eye Clinic for the Tuesday. So I goes there, someone gets there, goes to the desk, and there's a big sign up saying about that the waiting time is 45 minutes. Turns out they've got no record of my appointment whatsoever, so have to go to the rapid appointment section. So it takes about 10 paces to the side to the rapid appointment section. Oh yeah, they know that. Take a seat. 2 hours 40 minutes later, out of this 45-minute wait time, nurse turns up and says, "Oh, sorry, you should have been first. We're really, really sorry. You should have been first. Come round to this other waiting room." Another 2 people go before me who should have been first. Then I finally get in front of somebody who says, "Oh, tell us what happened and what meds you take." Oh dear, I exploded. There's a surprise. Was it okay though?
Yeah.
Still wasn't really okay, but it's understandable. With all that background, knowing everything that had gone on, it makes it at least kind of understandable. Well, I hope it makes it a bit understandable. And the last one of these sort of examples of understanding a bit of background, Aldi's, my local Aldi's.
It's the oldies, yeah.
Right.
You know all
Yes.
this. Yeah.
Right, now, every once in a while, just to prove to myself that I can still function and do things, I like to have a real messy day, and I do lots of cooking, and then I fill the freezer up with stuff. I'm not very great at it, but it makes me feel good. And I'd raided the cupboards, making an awful mess, and found that I needed 3 kind of things, fresh things for doing all these chilies and curries and bolognese and that. So over to Aldi's, 3 things. 3 things sorts out. I've got the exact money. Joins the till. There's only 1 person. Magic. Woohoo! Not bad for a Saturday. Joins this queue. Puts the things and the money on the belt. This person eventually finishes, and the guy sitting at the till says, "Sorry, I'm closed." I looked round to see who he's talking to. No, he's talking to me. "Which mean you're closed?" "No, you're not closed." Then he said, "Yeah, I'm closed." Well, I reached down, probably not very calmly, picked the money up, put it in my pocket, got the 3 items and threw them all over the place. Now the security guard in there knows me because I have reacted in various ways, not quite like that, but if I get stressed out because it's crowded, I just dump my basket and leave, and all sorts of things have gone on, so they know me, and I have explained, and my name and address is down on the list in case I decide to walk out still holding the basket and that sort of thing. And so this poor guy at the till, there's me ranting and raving, going ballistic about how am I supposed to know that it's closed. There was no, what do you call it, those little till closed things.
Yeah.
None of that, no. I thought I'd done the right thing, so I just blew up and went to leave. The security guard looked over, started walking, I went, and he sat back down and I left. I went back later, having calmed myself down a little bit, and I wrote it all down, and I went over, wanted to see the manager, but I was only able to see the assistant manager at the time. She read my notes and couldn't understand what's the problem, why was there a fuss. It was obvious it was closed, the red light was on. Anybody know what I'm talking about? No. Apparently, next time you go in one, you'll have a look and say, yes, if while you're standing there you're going like that, you'll see the top of a pole there's a green light and a red light, and if the red light's on, the till's closed.
I thought that was just for help when they cock up on the
he had cocked up and he needed help. So, you know, that really is sort of 3 examples where my reaction could easily have been taken as, especially in Gillingham, as very challenging behaviour, but I think it was brought about by very, very clear provocation. I know I'm a bit biased, but very clear provocation. So if you know the background, you can see the reasoning. And to me, trying to look back on it and think, well, a couple of words or very simple changes to a system that take into account that not everybody is stupid, because you wouldn't have guessed at those things either, and you haven't got dementia. So why can't the world just change just a fraction? On a letter that the council sends out, just have the words, destroy your current card. Boom, the problem's gone away. At the hospital, turn the computer on and read it before the client comes in. Or at Aldi's or whatever, either forget about the lights and go back to the thing. You'll have a sign somewhere, anywhere, but make it a prominent sign that says, if the red light's on, the till's closing. But none of those things, and they're very, very simple solutions, none of those things are actually in place. And the only difference between how, excluding Jane, how you may react and I may react is that yes, you might be angry about it and you might be upset, but you would probably deal with the situation a lot less emotionally and fierily than I would. So it's a dangerous... No, I said excluding you.
No, even the most timid person, the stress of it, especially going shopping and that, you're lining up and all of a sudden they say something, you'll get the arse. I'm sorry, you'll do, you want to say something. It's like when I do the training, I said, like, when I say it does change behaviour, we all do it in one shape or form. Because if that was me sitting around anybody at the hospital, you'd be moved here, pillaged, closed, I'd have been raving up, and so would you. Exactly. And you're one of the plastic people I know, but you would start there and shouting all over.
Oh, I do before.
Right, exactly. So it's no different to somebody that's got dementia.
No. So why label it differently?
Exactly.
That's my point. Why label it different? Because I've got dementia, it's challenging behaviour.
We all have challenging behaviour in one shape or form.
Yeah, but it's viewed as being okay if you're normal.
Yeah.
It's not okay if you're not.
Yeah.
That's the point. Simple as that. Okay.
Shall we do the worky one out one?
Why not?
Yeah. So now you've got to work out the background to something that we're going to do. All right? This is what we're going to do. So we haven't done this. We've only rehearsed this We haven't done this properly. So you're going to be new people to this. So you're going to be playing somebody else in this case, aren't you? So you're going to be playing another person.
Instead of being me, I'm older. So I'm past retirement age. I have retired. and I was okay getting by at home. This is my, not exactly carer, but the person that knows me best.
I'll do. I'll try not to do a Chatham accent.
And I was okay, but then had an event and things changed, and all of a sudden I was kind of like breaking out of the house at night and wandering around and getting picked up by the police because I was out. If I couldn't get out, I'm kicking or banging on the doors.
He does bang those doors.
I've now been brought to the home because I'm beyond being looked after at home. He's just not capable anymore.
I need a holiday. You sort him out.
And the same sort of thing is going on. 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm getting up and I'm banging on the door saying, I've got to go, I've got to go, I've got to go. There's your background.
Yeah.
Okay, off you go.
Ask away. You may want to take notes because it's awful. We're getting at honestly, most mornings about 3 o'clock in the morning. He's up the door and he is banging. He is kicking. He has hurt himself. No end of times doing this, and it is. I'm knackered. And even if it's just for
So
respite.
you're trying to get out the front door, or any door.
Any door. Any door, I just want out.
Any.
Would you like for work? Do you think you're going to work for milkman or something?
What, we're doing? No, milkman? No.
You wouldn't be a milkman. There. Carry on.
Yeah.
Every day, every morning. I just get up now. I just set the alarm. Really, I just set the alarm and.
Do you know where
Time
the
your wife ended up beating you for everyone when you're doing a runner.
Do you know where the toilet is?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not looking for the toilet.
What would I be looking at the toilet for?
I don't know. This
Yeah, look for the super stellars, are you?
Oh, right, yeah. Night out. Oh, love to have time for a night out.
Cool, wouldn't we, Jeff? We'd
Yeah.
love to have a night out.
Yeah, it's been at least a few weeks since we've had a night out.
3 o'clock every morning, you're kicking,
Few
screaming,
years,
trying to get out the door.
So are you going to
What
work
job
as a
did you do?
baker or something?
Ah.
I think we found someone who's got a bit of a natural thing for this. haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you do for a living?
What did you do for a living? You nearly had it with milkman.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's that time when you have to get out because people are going to work.
Yeah,
I just
well
said to
done.
Evelyn, she said baker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well done. We were going to go on about how he hurt his foot on the door and he says he dropped a tray. And I says he did it by banging his foot on the door. Because that's what happened. But yeah, but well done. Excellent stuff. So there you go.
Now what? So now you know I'm a baker, big deal. Now what?
Right, I've got a scenario. I had a gentleman in Lennoxwood.
Yeah.
It was night work on the trains, okay? Every night he would line up his chairs
Yeah.
in there and they would say, oh, he's got to go to bed, he's got to go to bed. Why? So what I've done a risk assessment and everything else, I bought him a bell. Choo choo! I bought him a cat.
Yeah.
And every night he sat there thinking, we'd sit there on our time, we'd sit there on all the row of the chairs, we'd sit there if we were going on his thingy. After 4 or 5 hours we'd go and have an hour skip. Because that was what he had gone back to. Every night was saying, people were saying, oh, it's changing because Bill was getting aggressive because they're going, come on, you've got to go to bed.
They're trying to put
No.
it, yeah.
Leave him.
Yeah.
We made sure all the other, because we used to have between 17 and 21 people up all night out of 50. None of them slept. So we assessed it, made sure all the other residents were fine. There's only 3 of us staff. He'd have his train, so I went and got him, I went and got him a steam train video. I got him everything, because I love that man anyway. You know, he broke my heart when he died. But that was his job. He'd reverted back to that time in his life. So he'd go, bold and bold, and we'd actually sit there, go on, and they go, choo choo, and that was it. He was happy.
Yeah.
Absolutely happy. His family thought it was brilliant. His care manager thought it was outstanding because we've done person-centred care on that person.
That is it. That is basically that is person-centred care.
That's with our Bill.
It just seems a bit odd to be doing that in a care role coming from that institutional background that we accept that everybody fits into a pattern.
So if you was a baker, so I would go and get some bacon tins. I'd go and get some loaf of breads.
Do some
Do
baking
whatever.
in the middle of the night.
You can do the baking in the middle of the night if your units have got cookers and that on it. You've got one upstairs in your thing, haven't you? Because most of the care homes they have cookers in the units, don't they? But whatever job that they've done, you try to implement it.
Yeah.
You're not going to get it fulfil it completely, but there's ways around it.
If probably if we was to brainstorm now or whatever it's
Yeah,
currently called,
that's it,
showers
yeah.
or whatever.
That's it. We've got mind showers, thought
Mind
showers,
showers.
thought showers.
Yeah.
You can't say brainstorming.
We would probably find a whole raft of easy solutions because we now know the problem. And that's what it's all about, getting at the background, knowing who am I? Who am I? I can't necessarily tell you who am I anymore. You've got to work it out from the clues that you can ascertain. And you find those clues by asking the right sorts of questions and get me talking. And as it turns out, Baker, well, to start with, you could just say to me, it's Sunday, you're not working today, your shift is, I don't know, Monday to Friday or Tuesday to whatever. There would be an easy solution, but without knowing that, without finding out I'm just a problem that bangs on the door at 3 o'clock in the morning and you can't afford to let me out or I'm gone and the police are going to be bringing me back, so you've got to stop me by whatever method. And I would hope that you're not going to just give me a sedative or tranquiliser and say go to sleep, because I'm going to wake up, if I remember it, I'm going to wake up even more distressed now because I've missed work. So there's an easy solution to most. There's not going to be an easy solution to everything, but most of the time there's a fairly easy solution, and it's a much better solution than those they used to use, which was pop a pill, that'll solve it.
Or you might have cramp.
I might have cramp hanging on the floor, and that's what it's about. I've just got cramp.
Yeah, marvellous stuff. And that leads us beautifully on to, before we have a break, it's our next little bit, because the solution to all these problems, this working stuff out, working thing out, is writing this stuff down. So, one of the right questions, make sure you've got a bit of paper, something to write on, because you are now, in fact, going to start writing your own care plans.